Hello, Life Youth. I've got a message for you today called Daily Rhythms, and it's about Romans 12, verse 2, which says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." I think this is a really big verse, a really important verse to look at, and if you're into memorizing verses, this is a great one to have on your mind. So it talks about patterns of this world. There's lots of different patterns in this world that we come across, and that sometimes we might feel like we should conform with, or people want us to conform with. And I wonder if you've noticed any in your lives recently. There's things like just what TV programs you're watching, what you're doing with your free time. It might be things to do with your relationships. If you're in a relationship with another girl or a boy, and what you're doing in those relationships. It might be how you make yourself look, the clothes that you're wearing, where you buy your clothes, or how you can do your makeup, just the way you can try and look like other people, look in certain ways. I don't know if you remember a phrase that was going around a few years ago now that said eat, sleep, rave, repeat. That was quite popular, and there's been loads of different things like that, like 4 words in a row where you should just apparently repeat 3 things: eating, sleeping, and then something else. The world throws at you lots of ideas for patterns and ways to live, but this verse is saying, don't conform to the way the world thinks you should live, or the way your culture thinks you should live, or maybe your school friends, or any other influence that tries to put its own ideas on you and make you live in a certain way according to a certain pattern. God has a better plan for your life. If you're a child of God, if you love God, He has a better plan for your life than what this world can offer you. There's a verse in Timothy 4, verse 7 that says, train yourself for godliness. He says, have nothing to do with irreverent, silly myths. And there's a lot of silly myths going around right now that I'm sure you're aware of. The Bible actually says, have nothing to do with them, but rather train yourself for godliness. And that's a similar kind of theme to this verse. Don't conform to the pattern of this world. Don't have anything to do with the silly things that this world sometimes offers, but focus on God. Train yourself for godliness. And this verse goes on to say, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Transformed means complete change, a completely new person. And the Bible also speaks of being a new creation if you're in Christ. So it's a strong word because it's a really big thing that goes on in the life of a Christian when they are transformed, when they come to salvation and they rely on God. And I think part of the reason that we're told to do that is because this world does not offer things that will satisfy us. So if we conform to what this world offers, we will not be satisfied. So we shouldn't do that if we want to live a full life. Jesus said He came to give us life to the full. So don't settle for anything less, despite what the world might throw at you or try and convince you. Jim Carrey, the very famous actor, said that he wishes everybody could get rich and famous and have everything they ever dreamed of, because then they would know that it's not the answer. And the Bible really makes that clear. So be transformed. How do we be transformed? Well, it says by the renewing of your mind. And I think really on a really simple level, but a really effective level, that means come to God in prayer in a daily rhythm, a daily habit of coming to God in prayer and asking to be transformed. I think that's one of the most powerful things you can do with your prayer life, is not just to ask for things from God, which is good to do, and not just to worship God, which is of course really important to do, but also to take some time to say, God, I'm willing to be changed by you and change what's going on in my mind, and for God to reveal His will for your life, what He wants you to do. So if you do that, if you spend time daily just asking God to change you and being open to change, then you'll find that you can really you can benefit massively and feel real transformation in your life, because you'll hear from God and you'll see the things in this world in a new light, and you'll want to pursue God more and not the things that this world offers. So I hope that encourages you guys. Give it a go, and I trust that God will bless you. Thanks.